You thought you did something with that, huh? You banning people? What if I told you ideas were bulletproof? Andrew Tate, Sneako, Kanye, they all got banned, but nothing fundamentally changed. Let me explain. Now, obviously, banning has an important role in moderating platforms so that they aren't rampant with racism, violence, and other activities that we don't accept in the real world. But as of recently, it's been the primary tool to silence thoughts and ideas that we don't agree with. Now, I'm not saying that all bans are unwarranted. Some of them you really can't be surprised by. Some behavior just shouldn't be permitted on these platforms, and that's okay. But my biggest issue with using bans in this way is the response from the opposing side. A lot of times people are overjoyed in the fact that they got a particular person deplatformed, but nothing fundamentally changes. Why is there no change? Commentary YouTubers tend to attack figures pushing opposing narratives. And yes, I think it is pretty entertaining to make fun of people we disagree with from time to time. Sometimes I'll do it where I'll make like Ben Shapiro memes and stuff like that. It's funny, it's entertaining. I love Andrew Tate memes where you just like, there's that dude that dances on TikTok who looks like Andrew Tate, and I think that is like prime memes. But doing so provides nothing of value and may even be detrimental to addressing the root cause of the problem. In a future video, I'm going to be talking about a creator on YouTube who goes by justpearlythings. And during my research into her, I saw ChadChad make a video talking about Pearl. I like ChadChad's channel, so I decided to watch it to see if she had any insight into Pearl that I may have missed. Although I enjoyed ChadChad's video from an entertainment perspective, the takeaway I got from her video was a surface level analysis at best. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but it's the type of video meant to be consumed by people who think the same thing already, who already agree with ChadChad. It doesn't engage with the ideas that Pearl presents, but rather characterizes her Pearl as somebody we don't agree with. It's a video meant to write Pearl off as dumb and otherizes her to an audience already inclined to disagree with her messaging, which means the video fails to change minds on both fronts. ChadChad's audience continues to believe that Pearl is a dumb fuck, and Pearl's audience continues to listen to her on why men should be getting financial abortions.
So if a woman gets pregnant and he says, I want to renounce paying child support, would you support that? So he can sign off all of his rights.
And leave it with the mother.
Yeah, because we get the right to get rid of the kid if we want. Shouldn't he have the same right in the name of like equality?
This type of video isn't exclusive to ChadChad, so don't take this as like a shot or anything like that. It's a very popular form of commentary that I think floods the platform on a daily basis because it is a very profitable way to do YouTube. How does this tie into banning? The reason I bring this up is because banning public figures and the example I just provided from ChadChad both focus on the same subject: the person, the figure, the individual. People who push specific ideologies or narratives that we don't agree with are the symptom of a much larger problem. These people aren't inventing the problem, but rather capitalizing on the market that already exists. The market in question? Ideas of people who feel unheard. These popular figures don't typically come before the ideas. The idea is the foundation of that popular figure's growth. It's what they stand on before skyrocketing into the public eye. There's a reason why Andrew Tate blew up so fast. There's a reason that all these creators grow at such exponential rates. It's because they're piggybacking off of an idea that already exists. You can see this happen within every group, whether it's ChadChad, Andrew Tate, Hassan, even myself. The reason I blew up is because I presented an idea that a lot of people connected with. I presented a point of view that the audience felt like was going unheard. And I could read that within the comments of my own video, that people felt afraid to say the things that I was saying. Even though I feel like it was a pretty rationalized thing, I was just able to articulate it in a way that they really liked, that they really could connect with, because a lot of people have the similar thought, but a lot of times you need a figure to come along and amplify it. These popular figures aren't the writers. They are the megaphones. We are the ones who are able to amplify these messages in the most concise and digestible ways to a larger audience. So what do we do about public figures spreading ideas that we don't agree with? There's two options. First option, and seems to be the more popular option, we ban the people who are pushing ideas we don't agree with and end up in this cycle of ban, grow, ban, grow, ban, grow, until we delete the idea out of existence. which would probably be near impossible to do because I'm sure that there's millions and millions and millions of people who connect with the ideas that these public figures are pushing. Or we take out the very foundation they stand on. We address their ideas and don't demonize people for thinking opposite of us. Because without that foundation, not only does the figurehead fall, but so do the others waiting to pick up that torch. And also, on top of that, you might change people's mind who are on the fence about these certain topics. There's a lot of people who are in the middle, who are undecided on a lot of these things. And if there's only content creators who are making content for these super hard like sides, super like set in ideologies, then you're missing out on an entire audience of people who could be swayed a certain way. When you cure somebody of a sickness, you don't go after each and every symptom. You use those symptoms to find the source. Commentary YouTubers. I'm not saying you can't make fun of people you disagree with. I'll still be a cheeky little bastard from time to time. I like memeing on Ben Shapiro. I like memeing on Andrew Tate. I like memeing on all these people. But if you don't honestly engage with their ideas, you are actively participating in this never-ending cycle that has no end goal besides posturing yourself on the politically correct side in the eyes of your audience. You may not see it that way, but getting people banned usually just hides the problem from being in front of you, while the ideas still fester in the dark until they can rise up again. We see this already. Andrew Tate's not gone. Those ideas haven't dwindled. If that was the case, Sneako wouldn't have come right after. Pearl wouldn't be here. Fresh and Fit wouldn't have gained an audience. All of these creators are pushing the same message. How did Andrew Tate getting banned fix that? It didn't. Actionable change will never happen if we seek to destroy people. Change can only happen if we as commentators shift our focus onto the ideas that these figures perpetuate. You can't write these ideas off as stupid. You can think it for sure. You can disagree with their ideas, but you have to engage with them seriously because these are serious ideas that are held by a lot of people. Otherwise, you are at fault for our broken systems just as much as people like Andrew Tate. In the same way that they are capitalizing on the market of the voiceless, commentators are capitalizing on the market of bad influence. So as long as nothing actually gets solved, we get to profit off of this symbiotic relationship of commentator and figurehead. Every time there's a new Andrew Tate or Sneako or Ethan Klein, go ahead and do all you can to get them banned, but don't act like you are substantially doing anything good for society. If you don't attack the foundation that built those people up, the only goal is money and social capital. Because we all know goddamn well that your highest paid months are when you get to talk about the new villain. You can make people laugh, but don't claim to be anything more than a clown.